Hello and welcome to Seeking Tranquility in France. This is John, and I'll be reading my essay, A Banking Tip for New Residents of France. Once you're fiscally resident and have filed taxes, you may have more banking options. Whether as a citizen of the United States or from any other country to reside in France, one of the first steps is to establish a French bank account. It's very likely that in certain contexts, such as in obtaining a property lease, having a French bank account is a non-negotiable requirement. Some might anticipate this and open an account with a French international bank, such as BNP Paribas, before making their move to ease their entry to France. Others will do so soon after arrival, and U.S. persons will learn about FATCA in the process if they haven't before. It's likely your account will be called a compte courant, or a current account, which is intended for support of everyday financial transactions. But there are a couple things to be aware of as you get settled in and become tax resident in France. At the time you open an account with the French bank, you might not yet be verifiably fiscally resident, also referred to as being tax resident, in the country. That is, you will not have met the conditions necessary for being fiscally resident, which are as follows. First, your home is in France, where home would also potentially include a spouse, a recognized civil partner, and children. Second, your main place of stay is France. That is, you stay in France or in its overseas territories for at least 183 days of the year. Third, you work in France. It is the place where your employment provides the bulk of your income. Or 4, the center of your economic interests is France. It's where your major investments have been made, or it is the place from which you manage your principal activities. But once you have evidence of fiscal residency based on the above, you might find yourself in the position of being able to get a better deal on your compte courant at the bank, and other banking services might become available to you. To formally recognize that you're fiscally resident in France, however, a bank is likely to require concrete evidence. For example, a signed and dated lease agreement, called un bail, or a justificatif de domicile, or proof of address, obtained from your power utility. In addition, a bank might also look for evidence of your having submitted a tax declaration to the French tax authority, the Direction Générale des Finances Publiques, and of having obtained a tax ID before accepting that you are fiscally resident. So here's the banking tip. Once you have sufficient evidence of fiscal residency, and certainly after you've received your tax statement and numéro fiscal, make an appointment with your bank counselor to review the terms of your current account. Bring with you the French tax statement, the avis d'impôt, and tax number, your passports, your justificatif de domicile, and documentary proofs of income. The tax statement gives incontrovertible evidence that you are a bona fide tax resident of France, with intentions of remaining in the country, and would generally be the document that banks prefer. Once submitted, the bank should update your status in its records accordingly. Your status as fiscally resident implies that you represent a lesser risk to the bank and, depending on your bank, some tangible banking advantages might arise as a result. These could include lower maintenance charges on current accounts. A wider range of banking options, savings, or investment accounts might become available, for example. Enhanced access to credit, an option for a debit card or carte bancaire with a higher monthly limit, or for a credit card, known as a carte bleue. Access to insurance products that are off limits to those not fiscally resident in the country, including the popular life insurance or assurance vie policies that enable growth-oriented investment and certain tax advantages, especially with regard to inheritance tax. Benefits will vary depending on the individual bank, but once you've settled and have sufficient proof that you are fiscally resident in France, it's probably worth your while to go back to your bank to determine how your updated status might translate to enhanced benefits. It might save you money, give you more banking options, and make your life easier. Thanks for listening.